So I got the bike running. You can see it is very smoky. And the exhaust isn't exactly on right at the minute, but you can see what it's doing. It's spitting and farting, and it just does not want to run right. So it stopped there now. I'm not sure why, whether it'll go again or not. It's a good question. Nope. Nope. Won't go again, so back in a moment when I figure this one out. Well, I don't know if you can see that. This is coming out of my carburetor's intake after the bike stopped. And I believe that it's lost compression. I won't know until I can take off this rattly old exhaust to find out. But it's not looking good. Might be some compression left. Might be, I can hear it sucking and blowing there. Whatever it is that happened, it wasn't good. I also noticed when it was just running for a small while and I could still put my hand on it, that the stuff that was coming out of the exhaust valve was very oily. See the colour of my hands here, like, it was very oily stuff. So there's obviously oil getting in somewhere, or maybe that seal in there isn't working. Would explain the rough running as well, but it's not explaining why it won't start now. Now you'll see if I come over the other side. Where's my fuel line? You'll see my fuel line is quite full of shit. That's what's coming out of the tank. So the tank really needs a good cleaning out. But besides that, it looks like it's full of fuel. Looks like the carburetor's getting fuel there. So I don't know why it's not restarting. It was running very rough. Every time I'd try to open it out, it'd spit and fart, and it didn't want to open out much. So it could have just stopped because it's out of fuel. I don't know. I mean, I'm messing around with this a bit and don't seem to be having much problems there, but you never know. Might just need more fuel. We'll see in a moment. Well, there's fuel enough, you can see, to be pouring out of the petcock. So I'm not sure what's going on. It appears to have lost compression, so I'm a little worried that I've done some damage here. I guess we're going to find out. I'm going to have to pull the engine out and see. So we opened the carburetor and it was full of petrol, but it was also full of rust from the tank. As you can see, that's rotten stuff. Needs another cleaning out and blowing out now, probably. But the bad news was that it was full of petrol, which means the fuel was delivering to the bike and the bike is still not going to start. And I feel that it's lost its compression, so it may have bent a valve. The timing may have been slightly out. Just nothing. So that has me worried. So I guess I've no choice now but to pull out the engine and see what's going on. Yep, so I've been looking at the bike and you'll see what I'm seeing. Can you see that in there? That, my friends, is a valve, and it's got bent and it's stuck in the head of the engine. But the bike was running, so I don't understand how it could have happened. It was running. I mean, if the timing was off, you'd think it wouldn't have ran at all, but there you go. That's what we're dealing with. So I have a new valve to get, and I hope I haven't done any other damage. I guess we're going to find out when I open it up. There you go. Time to take it out again. Okay, so it's now 20 minutes roughly after what happened outside, and I have the engine out of the bike. I took off the spark timing and all that stuff, but I decided I'd investigate before I lifted the head off. So you'll see that, if I can get light in here, hold on. You'll see that, you mightn't be able to see that mark, but what I have that on right now is the T mark at top dead center there, and it's matching up with the line on the thing, on the casing. You'll see that my timing up here, it'll focus, looks to be correct. It's possible that it might be a tooth out. Hold on, I'll turn off this light to see if I can give you a better view of what's going on here. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. No, it's just not going to work, is it? You can see it basically. There's our circle there, and there's our V mark. So it looks to me like it's pretty much bang on. You can see. So I don't know what's gone wrong, what's happened. I put this cam in with the lobes facing downwards, and I worked my timing off that, so I assume there was nothing going wrong there. I hope not. And there's plenty of oil up around the chain here and stuff, so the engine was actually getting oil to the head and everything, so that's not what's happened. I don't know. All I know is that it bent a valve, because you could see it in the spark plug area whenever I opened it up. So I'm going to put these couple of little covers back on here, and then we're going to take the cam sprocket off, and we're going to lift the head and see what we get. But we know what the damage is already. The only thing I don't know is why it happened, and it would be very useful if I could find that out. Hate when these things get stuck in the casings. 1 second. Just not having great luck with this project. I've done other ones, but they were all 50s and 90s. This is the biggest bike I've ever kind of worked on, and I'm not an expert by any means on bikes, so obviously if I could get my sprocket in my, I don't know why that won't come off. That it's stuck in there. Not sure, I'll have to work at that in a while, but first of all we're going to take this sprocket off, and we're going to lift the head, and I'll give you a look then when I'm lifting the head off of what's going on and what the problem is. Okay, so I've got the sprocket off now, and I'm gonna, you can see that the play that's in that, so I didn't move this from where I had it, from what you saw whenever I was here and the timing. So I'm going to pull this cam out now and show you that the way I had it in and all that stuff, in case there's something you're going to pick up on that I can't. That's assuming I can get it out. It's quite tight in there. I honestly don't know what could have went wrong here. It's a bit annoying when you've put in that work to get it this far and then something like this happens. Wow, that's well stuck there. It's coming out a little bit, but I don't want it to come out too easily. You just have to give me a moment till I get it out here with two hands. Okay, so I got the cam out. As you can see, thank goodness it's not been damaged. It looks good. Let's have a look inside. I don't see any metal filings or anything like that, so that looks good. There's plenty of oil in there, so it was getting plenty of oil. You can see that. So I think the next, wow, that's well jammed up there, that rocker. Right, I'm going to pull the head now and we'll see what story is under it. Give me a minute. And the moment of truth tells us. You can see there's a bit of oil around the gasket there, number one. But none where I have put the seal in here, so I don't think that was being a problem. There is a little bit of oil on the piston, a little bit. But you can see the marks here where it has hit the valve. So the piston did hit the valve, and quite hard, and it was only when I revved the bike hard that it done this, so really not sure what's going on. And there's the valve. You can see how well bent that is. So I'm gonna have to pull the head apart now and see what's going on there. Other than that, I have no answers for what happened. I just don't know. I'm kind of hoping some of yous will be able to tell me. It's really disappointing. But I'll leave you with that for now until I take the head apart, and maybe I'll come back with another video. I don't want to give up on this bike, but it's really getting to the point where I'm getting annoyed with it and I'm not enjoying it anymore. So I'll get a new valve. I'll see what I can do. Hopefully I haven't damaged the head. I'll have a look inside to see what the rocker's like. So I opened the head and I checked the rocker arms. The rocker arms are good, none of them bent, which is good. They're all in good condition. What's not in such good condition is this. This is the way I found it. The keepers come out of it. No idea how the keeper would come out of it, but there you go, it's out of it. There's the two springs out. Had to get my other keeper. And that's the bent valve there. So I'm gonna knock that out now. See what the story is. And if you just give me a second. Just fixing you into a kind of a position for now, just a little vise so that you can see, or partly see. There you go. So, how to get this valve out now, because I know it's well bent. I don't want to go gouging on it with this screwdriver, but it looks like the only way I'm going to get it out. Or maybe hammer it from the top. Oops, nearly dropped this. Hold on a second. Put this back. I'm back. You'll see that there's plenty of oil getting to this head, which was a concern of mine when I was putting the engine together. You can see that this is dry back here, so that seal's doing its job. I have no explanation for what happened. Here's the valve. Look at how bent that is. How in tarnation does something get that bent? I have no answers, guys. I hope you have an answer for me. Timing was right. I mean, the lobes, when I took the cam out, I didn't move the engine anyway at all from where you looked at it. And when I took the cam out, it was facing downwards like this, which on this engine I would assume is the right way to have it for a compression stroke. I may have been wrong, but would the bike have ran if the timing was out? I don't know. So yeah, this has me really annoyed, and I'm back to square one, and I'm considering maybe if that Chinese piston and barrel were maybe not right for it. Don't know, thinking of buying an original one now, but they're expensive, and it's very rare you'll get one in good condition that you don't have to rebore or something like that. so it's kind of looking like probably my only option. That's all I can tell you for now, until I get another valve and try and put it back together. But nothing was hitting. Whenever I was turning it over by hand, whenever I'd set the timing and everything, nothing was hitting of anything. So I really can't understand how this happened. Oh well, that's it for now.